And yes, another gentle alien. And oh yeah, we're taking another gentle alien. And what am I saying, folks? We're getting gentle aliens. We are at 7. Is that too many enemies? We'll see. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today we're going to be showcasing one of my favorite and one of the most absolutely broken builds that you can do in this game. The patented, lovely, sought after, replicated but never imitated Ghost Axe Loud build. One of the truly most broken, most absurd, craziest builds you can do in this game, and one that you can recreate relatively efficiently yourself. I really do think this is one of the most interesting builds that you can do in this game, and I highly, highly recommend that everybody gives it a try. Some days you have a bad day at work. It's been a long day. Your dog is yelling at you about taxes. You know, when you just have one of those days where everything's going wrong and you really need to take out some stress, I highly recommend you boot up this build. At least that's what I do. And I also have a slight problem. Now, the Ghost Axe Loud build is a way for you to really take out all your frustrations on the unsuspecting, unwitting, unwilling denizens of Brotato land. And yes, if you were curious, that is what in fact the lore says this whole land where this game takes place is called. Is that actually true? I have no comment. So the ghost weapons are obviously categorized with the unique characteristic where they permanently increase your character strength every time you kill a certain amount of enemies. In this case, Ghost Axe gives you 1% permanent damage for every 20 enemies you kill, and that number actually goes down the more you upgrade your weapon. The Ghost Flint gives you a increased attack speed for every sort of amount of enemies you kill as well. So an effective 1-2 combination. Now, Loud notably not only gives you a relatively strong damage bonus, they add way more enemies to the map. So the Loud's signature characteristic is plus 50% enemies and plus 30% damage. So when we combine all the increased enemies with all the abilities of the ghost weapons to scale, we get an absolutely bonkers, busted, broken build that is capable of accomplishing extremely dirty and difficult things that will really help you take out all your revenge for all the issues that you've been having in this game. And I'm excited to showcase it here. I'm going to go ahead and roll around. I do like melee damage. It's quite strong. Really want to upgrade these Ghost Flints, Ghost Axe, Ghost Flints. I generally think a two Ghost Flint, 4 Ghost Axe build is sort of the way to go here. However, you can kind of play around and figure out what works best for you. But essentially the way this build works is you end up getting absolutely insane scaling and becoming absolutely insanely strong in a really satisfying run that will just demolish and take out the bosses in just a handful of seconds. Again, wreaking havoc and causing, pardon me, unrepentant revenge for all the losses you ever experienced in this game. Now you will notice occasionally that we'll see a little icon. You see the little icons popping up as we kill all these enemies. Little arm there for the Ghost Axe triggering. That is indicating we are getting that permanent stat bonus from taking out these enemies with these weapons. Really good start here. So we'll go ahead and combine. And I do think this is an instance where grab another Ghost Flint is good. The other thing I think is pretty powerful is we're really going to try to snowball this. We're going to take every single gentle alien, gentle mouse that we can see. There is a cap of 10 on this item. And while I've never, I don't think, actually gotten 10, the closer I can get to that, the better I can sleep at night. So that's the goal here, is just see how we can absolutely break this run, as well as talk about everything that you need to do in order to recreate the success for yourself at home. Now, you may have noticed that early on I did take a little bit of range. I do think range is sort of a key mechanic when it comes to doing this build. You want enough range so our Ghost Axe, when they kind of swing in that swinging motion, end up hitting enough enemies. But we don't want too much range so our attack speed is slow. So like many melee characters, we're sort of constantly evaluating that relationship between attack speed and range. The good thing is with the ghost flints, we end up getting a lot of attack speed, so we're able to kind of ameliorate that. And so we're gonna go ahead and take this sunglasses, giving us a really good range there. And again, we want every single gentle alien. Now the key thing as well with ghost weapons is having 6 ghost weapons does give you a really powerful 30% dodge, which is actually really good for a weapon tag. However, they do reduce your armor by quite a bit, so I do think something to think about when you're going with this build is you do want a little bit of armor early, just because -3 armor, or -5 armor, pardon me, is like a pretty steep penalty. So do definitely get some armor early, and definitely prioritize a little bit of health sooner than you might otherwise. You can see we're already at 40 health, which again will really help with that sort of big armor penalty, which will make us take a lot more damage. You will notice that with all the gentle aliens as well as loud, you see a lot more of these eggs spawn. So you will let some of them spawn typically, unless you have like really good speed, which is okay. You know, typically as long as you can keep the eggs at bay for the first part of the wave, you'll be all right. Other thing to keep in mind is loud does get -3 harvesting per wave, which does unfortunately stack. So that is something to think about. So if we were to take 8 harvesting, you know, that would only bring us up to -14 harvesting. So it's really tough to get positive harvesting on this character, and probably not worth it. Another pro tip is when you are playing this build, do not take a crown. It does not function the way you want it to, and you will basically get negative harvesting at an even higher clip. So do not take a crown unless you're like already positive harvesting. But again, that is quite difficult to do on this character. So you can see we're off to a really good start with 3 gentle aliens, although I want to really crank that, as well as a pretty good slew of ghost weapons. So again, we're really going to try to scale these ghost weapons as high and as hard as we possibly can in order to really just, you know, again, take revenge on Brotato land for all our failed D5 runs. I do think wave 8 is the most challenging wave in this character. If we're able to make it through wave 8 and then get to that lovely easy and vulnerable and easy to smash through wave 9, we're almost always in a good spot to really take over the run. Obviously wave 9 is the horde wave with a lot of weak enemies, which is a really good way to scale up our ghost weapons. And if we are able to clear that efficiently, we're usually strong enough to clear the rest of the game without too much of a problem. But that said, we're going to play a little careful here. You know, we did get a little bit of an armor bonus, but you know, it's still possible to get bursted down. As you can see, I was in danger there, but I like to play a little aggressively here at the end in order to kill as many enemies as possible. Obviously, I actually will take a weird food, and I do like speed. I think speed's pretty important. So we'll go ahead, given our flints, I don't think we have the right upgrade here. With only 4 luck, we don't really need that. This is 4 melee damage. So you see this 10 harvesting brings us up to -14, so we will do that just to sort of take away a little bit of that negative penalty we're getting with wheat, but you know, it's still a net negative. And again, do not take a crown, because this harvesting increased by additional 8% will actually make it increase 8% in reverse. So definitely not a combo that you do want. And I do really like a cute monkey on this build. Really happy with a vigilante ring this early. Again, you know, do we really need it? Not really, but it'll be good. So let's take a quick look here as we sort of just start wave 9. We have 91% damage and 34% attack speed. So let's remember those two numbers, 91 and 34, as we go into this sort of huge wave of sort of weaker enemies where the ghost weapons just feast and help us scale to infinity and maybe even a little bit beyond. So again, 91 and I think it was 36. I already forgot. 91, 32. That's what I get for not paying attention and trying to talk while I play. But you can see just absolutely wrecking these smaller enemies and just getting all sorts of lovely permanent stat sheet upgrades from our ghost weapons as we continue to upgrade them. And again, we already have, it looks like 4 epic ghost weapons, which is really going to help us get a ton of stats this wave. And you can see us just raking in the money as I play a little greedy in order to take out as many enemies as possible. Just run through like a buzzsaw, knife through butter, or something like that. So again, I'm playing a little greedy there, but I'm okay to do so. So you can see we're already up to 109 damage and 62 attack speed. Just packing on stats as we go through that sort of weak phase. And I do like a little bit of armor. We are at -3, and I do like crit chance because you know, we end up getting so much % damage and so much melee that I think crit is really strong on this build. Really happy to see a power generator. Only 16 speed, but we're going to get that up quite a bit. Claw Tree, Ghost Axe, and I do like Metal Plate. You know, you can pretty much take anything as percent damage as frequently as you want, simply because we're going to be getting so much percent damage that like negative percent damage doesn't really hurt us. And I do like a little bit of dodge, so I will take a Peaceful Bee, even though that harvesting, again, doesn't do a whole lot because we're still at negative 13. But we're going to see this damage just absolutely start to scale and just, you know, blow up from here on out. And we're going to get most of our money here, obviously. No harvesting, so we're going to get most of our money from all the insane amounts of enemies we're spawning. We do have 3 Gentle Aliens, so now we are at 65% more enemies. Well, the normal increased enemy is 50. So I really think playing greedy here and taking every Gentle Alien you can, along with every mouse, if you're fortunate enough to see some of those, is a really, really good way to play this character. And again, just scale as high as you can, as quickly as you can. And we're going to do a good job of that here. You know, soon enough, like right now, the Bruisers, we're not able to one-shot all of them yet with their Ghost Axes, but don't you worry, we will. We will. That's coming. That's coming for us, and we're really going to get this rocking and rolling. And I wouldn't even mind increasing my range just a little bit more, so we can play a little safer and kill more enemies per swing, which is something that makes me quite happy at night when I'm able to, you know, do one swing and take like 17 Bruisers just to sort of repay them for all the runs that they have ended for me. Metal Detector, not worth it. Going engineering. You know, with only 4 luck, I am tempted by the speed, but I am just going to take a little luck here. And I do think some max HP is going to go on this character because you'll be attacking so fast. You'll have so many different ways to trigger that, and it'll really make you happy and healthy and be able to survive the now 4 Gentle Aliens we have. But again, we're not satisfied with that. So you can see our crits are hitting for about 174 with our Ghost Axe, but we really want to get that as high as can. I really like seeing my crits on this character over 500 with absolutely insane attack speed. That's what I like to see, so I can absolutely maul the bosses and show them who is their daddy and not talk about the millions of sort of Jack runs that I lost. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're not playing Jack. We're playing Ghost Loud, and we're going to try to revenge on Brotato Land for all the losses that we have incurred over our career. That said, being a little more serious, if this is just a really good showcase of mechanics and how you know, these Ghost Axes and Ghost Flints can be really, really strong. I do think Ghost Axes and Ghost Flints are some of the best weapons in the game, and weapons that I tend, you know, I've made it work with one arm, I've made it work with a million different sort of non-Ghost characters, you know, all-rounder, all those characters. So I do really think Ghost weapons are just very good, and I do want a little bit more range, and I do like percent damage, even if we are flooded in. Really happy to get a Ghost Flint. Really get 2 of those legendary already is quite strong. I do like a Boxing Glove. I do like a Coffee. You know, we're gonna get so much percent damage. Percent damage does scale with Alien Eyes, so really like to see that. Do like a Leather Vest, and I will potentially take a little muscly dude after I take another Gentle Alien, putting us at, if you're counting home, 5 Gentle Aliens. And we're going into a Wave 12 Elite, and let's see if we've sort of reached the damage tipping point here. I will play a little safe and go ahead and worry about taking out the eggs rather than just bursting down the bosses. But I think we will take this boss out relatively effectively before moving into absolutely demolishing the other bosses, the other leads, pardon me. It is relatively hard to get a build that is ready to completely demolish the Wave 12 Leap. You can see we absolutely just shellacked that boss, as I like to say, and we will continue to do so as we move through these waves. If we're able to take out the Wave 12 Elite that quickly, the Wave 14 Elite stands no chance, because not only are we scaling off materials and items, we're scaling off these awesome all these awesome ghost weapons, just mauling all these lovely enemies who we want to spawn with more and more frequency. So again, we're at 5 Gentle Aliens. Let's keep that going. I want all the enemies I can possibly spawn, because more enemies, it's not like more materials, it is more opportunities for us to level up our ghost weapons, which we're doing an admirable job of doing just here. Hunting trophy, yeah, with 29 crit, give me that. Free medical turret, I'll take it. Lucky coin, oh no, we're losing armor, but we get way more luck, so I'm happy to see that. We'll take a little bit of melee damage. I do think our melee damage is a little low since we are doing percent damage. That percent damage does scale off our melee damage, which means we do want a little more melee damage. As you can see here, our Epic Ghost Axe gets us 1% damage for every 16 enemies versus the blue, which is 18. So that does become more and more effective the more that we level this up. With 4-4 dodge, I do like Riposte. Again, our melee damage is a little behind. I think that's a big weakness that we're dealing with now, but that won't last very, very long. You know, sort of tempted by the Shmoo, but I do think with 69 HP, we're more than fine. Our speed's a little low, 30 speed. I also been playing a lot of Speedy lately. I uploaded that Jousting Land Speedy guide the other day. So now I'm playing other characters again. It's like, what? Why am I moving so slow? So something to keep in mind. But you can see getting just that little bit of melee damage really increased our crits. We're critting about 200 the wave previously. Now we're critting 240, 270. Again, just showing that that percent damage is really, really strong. But that percent damage is, you know, increasing that by our melee damage. So I do think getting melee damage is quite important if we really want to hit these big numbers. And why are we playing this game if not to hit those big numbers? I don't know. You tell me. That said, that hunting trophy is really going to help us just explode this run. I really want to get crit as high as possible. Right now we're only in the 20s, which is not that good. But with Ghost, or pardon me, with Loud, it doesn't take a lot to make hunting trophies just so insanely strong. We're going to be buying every item in the game by the time we get a little bit further. So we're really just going to be cracking through here as we go through this insane. It's already firing off, and this is relatively consistently. This truthfully is my first attempt at making this video, so this is not something you can pull off, you know, every once in a while. You can in fact pull it off very consistently with that hunting trophy. Give me a crit chance. Do I want a bloody hands? Yeah, I want a bloody hand, even with 5% lifesteal. Let's just crank the damage as high as possible. And again, I do like getting our range up a little high because we can afford it. Do not take the weird ghost with bloody hand or blood bag, as it will instantly kill you. So that's a little pro tip. And oh yeah, we're taking another gentle alien. We're at 6. Ritual, you know, we're doing so many rerolls that will combine to a ghost axe, even though that is not necessarily the most efficient way to do things, because we are instantly rewarded here, and we're going into a wave 14 elite that I think we will absolutely demolish. And I will take this blood leech, which is not an item I normally love, but that's because we have the bloody hand and we want to sort of scale that as many ways as possible. So this elite, I believe it's called the Butcher. The Butcher does not stand a chance. Let's see how long it takes us to kill him. Ooh, 10 seconds. Slow, but we're getting there. Really feeling strong with this build. That said, we really desperately want to get our melee damage up, because I'm not satisfied with the 456 crit. I want way more than the 456 crit. We are taking that consistent damage, so we want to make sure we're consistently hitting our enemies in order to trigger that most important lifesteal. So getting a little low. That said, I'm not super worried that we're going to be in danger. Again, I think wave 14 is a relatively challenging wave. As I said in the past, it's where these wizards start spawning, and I do think the gentle aliens, the mice, etc., are good items, but you know, where you tend to really feel them is in these waves where you're spawning a lot more enemies as the game starts to spin to a spot where you're no longer dodging enemies, you're dodging projectiles, and that's when the game does become a little bit more challenging, and that tends to happen right around wave 14. So you can see most of the damage we're incurring is coming from projectiles, not necessarily enemies charging us. Do we want big arms? Yeah, we want big arms. Let's crank that melee damage up. Really happy to see that, and we'll take a little bit more armor just because we do take quite a bit of damage. Upgrade our Ghost Flint. They'll take our Ritual. And I do like Blood Leech. Again, that's going to really compound our negative harvesting. But with our Bloody Hand, I really like to see that. And what am I saying, folks? We're getting Gentle Hands. We are at 7. Can't write this. And I will go ahead and grab a Warrior's Helmet. And we got a mouse. Is that too many enemies? We'll see. That's it. You can see our crits are already up to 400. Now hitting for 400 and change with our legendary Ghost Axe. Again, just showing all that melee damage as we absolutely demolish. 580 crit. Now we got a while to go. You know, like I said, great way to, you know, some people go to therapy, right? And like therapy is good. I highly recommend anybody who is considering it that they take a valuable use of that valuable resource. Therapy is a really good pursuit you should consider if you need it. Everybody needs help sometimes, and that's absolutely okay. For me though, rather than therapy, I go ahead and fire up a loud ghost build and just pulverize my woes into oblivion as I run through all these enemies like a knife through the proverbial Brotato land butter, and just absolutely shellac. As you can see, we're getting enough percent damage per wave where we can actually watch our crits go up. Our crits just went from 600 to 604 in about 5 or 6 seconds, again, as this active scaling happens during the wave. You know, that doesn't make you smile, then you probably have a good taste in video games, which I do not. So 4% lifesteal is really good there. It comes with a bloody hand, as does the mouse, and a little bit more defense. It's not a bad thing because I want to be a giant tank. Again, Alien Eye is really good with 81 HP and that incredible percent damage. Let's get that Ghost Axe upgraded. I will take a weird food because I'm a weird person. I really like Mastery and Wheat, both I think which are really strong. And I will take an Alien Worm just because we took that weird food, which means it's not really a net negative as much as it might be. And gives us a little max HP, which is good. And that also gives us the positive HP regen, which doesn't really do anything, but I like green stats. They make me happy. And so we'll go ahead and roll through this now. But you can see just absolutely wrecking these enemies as we get a whopping 7 gentle aliens plus 1 mouse. but we're not done. We're still taking every gentle alien and every mouse we see. How many mice can you have? 5. A little hard to get. Our luck is a relatively good 99, thanks to that amazing lucky coin, which is giving us a ton of luck for every crit chance we have. And we obviously really are going into crit as hard as possible. I would like a little bit more. We're only at 34. So that is a way we can improve our build just a little bit, is by getting more crit, so we can get more luck. Do we actually need to improve? Not really. I mean, we could probably beat the final 2 bosses very, very quickly here. But again, this is just turning into an insane broken run that I'm really happy to showcase here as we. Yeah, is this strong enough? Well, we're about to see. I'd be pretty happy if this is wave 19. But we got a lot more waves to get even more strong. Again, really trying to get that crit chance up so we can take a little bit more advantage of that hunting trophy. Or hey, maybe we'll even get another hunting trophy. Crown, again, crown does not work the way you want it to. It will give you an 8% more negative, so we do not want that. I do really want crit, and we really want to get our melee damage up, so give me this, give me the weep. This doesn't really do anything, but I feel so strong, I will take it anyway, and give me a claw tree, which makes me happy. And again, I do want to get more, as much melee damage as I possibly can, and we'll upgrade our ghost axe, because blue weapons, when I have all legendary weapons, make me sad, and I don't like being sad. So really happy to see that, to get our ghost weapons even stronger. And again, does Sif's relic do anything? Nope, but I almost never buy it because it's not that good. I do like it quite a bit unlucky. But you know, it's not that important, but like we're just crushing everything so much. I'm like, why not take it? Maybe if we see a cyber ball or something, we'll get a teeny bit of value out of it. But again, really want to focus getting that crit as high as possible so we can get more luck, which gives us more items. More items does make us quite happy. I will say the one thing is a little bit low is 20 speed. Like, we would like a little bit more speed, but at that point we're just splitting hairs. But you can see just absolutely demolishing this in one of my favorite. This may be my favorite build. I wouldn't say that unequivocally, like put a bookmark in it, but it is up there with one of my most fun ways just to demolish the game. You know, ghost weapons I generally like. I like doing ghost weapon builds, even on non-loud or non-ghost characters. I generally like doing that, and I also like loud. There's so many fun ways to break loud that I'll probably showcase a little later, but there's a lot of fun ways we can really showcase that. Lemonade for free, sure, why not? Small magazine, why not? You know, really like the max HP, but that 4% lifesteal is 8% damage as well, so we'll take that. Go ahead and upgrade that. I think we actually have enough time to get a little value out of that. We can afford the extra range with our insane attack speed here at 273, and that's not even with any community supports. Cute monkey, you know, that's something that will give us some value. That Sif's relic, and I do like a little more crit. Again, putting us at a really, really strong 50. So let's see. How you doing, man? How you doing? Okay, 3 seconds. 3-second leak kill. Oh man, tell me that doesn't make you feel good about things. So you can just see the absolute insanity that this run is starting to come together. But you know what? We want to do more, right? Let's get a crit a little higher. I will say our melee damage is not as good as it could be, right? We can get that melee damage higher. We're not done yet. We got more to go. So again, I'm feeling really, really, really good about this. A little bit about me. My name is Sean. I am running a channel called Sean Tier, which is a play on the term S tier as well as my name, because S tier is a great gaming term. It's something we all aspire to be. Been doing this for a little under a month, and we've already had a lot of really good success. Key things about this channel is we try to keep it fun. We really focus on the game's mechanics, really talking about how things work. But most importantly, we try to keep it quick. All my runs tend to be under 23, 24 minutes, and I really want to keep the gameplay moving quick. We run through decisions quickly. We only talk about important things. So again, really trying to do the type of gameplay content I enjoy. If you were able to toss me a like, possibly even subscribe, and maybe even a lovely comment, I will personally come to your house, dress as a giant chunky loud with a ghost axe, and give you one of those. Will I actually do that? We'll see. A little bit of dodge. We're not capped on dodge yet, so happy to see that. Go ahead and reroll here. Again, a little more melee damage. That seems to be the one small weakness of this build, is I would like a little more melee damage. Does this actually matter going to wave 19? No, but will we take it for posterity's sake? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, we're taking another mouse. We are absolutely taking another mouse. We'll take a coffee. Again, I think we're pretty good with that. As we go into wave 19 with 7 gentle aliens and 3 mice. We really, like, how many enemies are we going to see here? I want to see them all. Spawn enemies. Let's go. You know, our attack speed is just insanely high because we ended up going with 3 ghost flints as opposed to just ghost axes. You know, our attack speed is absolutely insane, but that's where the upgrades, like I said, I like the 4-2 axe flint split, but you kind of want to take what you're offered and just sort of follow it from there. You know, you don't have to go one way or the other, but you can just see all these enemies spawning and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, we what do the enemies have on our absolutely insane buzzsaw scale build? I mean, this is a pretty nuts one. I've done some nuts ones, and this one's definitely up there. But again, the nice thing about this is it's repeatable. You can do it yourself at home. This legitimately is the first time I've tried to record this type of video. Normally, I don't put up videos unless it's a really good run. You know, I try to keep the content entertaining, so I won't just put up the first video I do. I tend to really go for a run that is both educational but does something silly as well to keep it light and fun. And obviously, this was helped a lot by the hunting trophy, but it's a really consistent build. This is the first time I've tried to do this for a video, that is. Again, going into the final bosses, we want to get that melee damage up. Love to see the legendary, and I'm doing some aggressive rerolls for some more melee damage. All right, we'll take it. We spent a lot of money, but I think it was worth it. Really want to try to get melee damage up. I mean, that's really it, because that will help our kill speed. And again, dunking range a little bit, I think, would be helpful. So really, really greedy for that melee damage. May have been a little too greedy, but I don't really think it matters. So again, let's look at where we are. 482% increased damage, 63 increased melee damage, and 362 increased attack speed. Let's see how fast we can absolutely demolish these bosses. Where are they? I'm doing autos. I'm not even going to move. You know what I mean? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's absolutely, I was like, I'm not even going to move off the bosses. So we were able to just absolutely smoke those bosses. But you can see here, really fun build. Again, 7 gentle aliens and 3 mice. Really, really, really fun build there. And one of my favorite builds you can do in this game. So I do recommend you give it a shot. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care.